You guys saw that, right? Hey Aqua, what is happening? So the Amazon Queen already popped out the battle, a devoted warrior of the universe. Your energy. Look at you showing up to the situation. Bigger, larger than life, bigger than everybody else. You're not worried about what other people think of you, or their intimidation, their issues that they need to deal with. You've reflected on what it is that's meant for you in the situations. So let's pull you guys an entire reading and let's talk about a couple things. During the meditation, something came up about the difference between seals and sea lions. So I had to do a little bit of a look myself, and it turns out, let's just cross this over to spirituality. This is an adaptable, joyful communicator, an emotional balance, bridging two worlds, your energy, a guide for others to navigate the inner emotional world and the external physical life, and a guide through the subconscious and intuition. You have this hunting power. The Amazon Queen comes up. Abundance. You're able to create these things in abundance, and you have authority over the water bearer, Aqua. Let's get into a couple, because we're ready with this reading. This is the first card up. Oh, King of Cups coming up. This is our first card coming through, because we're going to talk about the shadow work, the bottom of the deck here. We have to talk about these things. What can come with that sort of a seal versus sea lion energy? Seals are, well, they're water creatures. They're in the water. They struggle on the land. Their flippers are tinier. They don't really have that adaptability. They prefer the cold. They're not quite as family oriented. They're sort of off on their own. They sort of like to be lone hunters. Okay? Sea lions are more family oriented. They're better adapted to being on land with their longer flippers. They have these cute little ear flaps, okay? And they prefer a warmer climate. So we're kind of talking about this emotional balance, and that's you bridging these two worlds, being more like the sea lion than the seal, comes with a couple things. So let's pull the reading out. Let's talk about it. Let's pull it out. Let's talk about it. Let's move the Amazon Queen not out of the way, over to the side, so we can keep looking. We can keep understanding, remembering this brilliance, the battle. Let's make ourselves some space. I think should have done that ahead of time, Aqua. I know my Aquarian self is apologizing for not being better prepared, but I was pretty prepared with this energy of the seal and the sea lion, because there's some downsides. Fear of being seen as too emotionally vulnerable. Fear of being seen as too emotional. Fear of being judged or rejected for your own playful nature. This is sounding really Aquarian, ruh-roh. Fear of losing your connection to your emotional depths. There's a couple more. Well, maybe a little sensitive to criticism. Some of us. Myself, I'm a little sensitive to criticism sometimes. What about difficulty setting boundaries? I'm guilty of that one. Tendency toward emotional outbursts. I mean, what am I going to do? Lie? I've done that. I sure know that those are the things that I need to find balance in my life about. But there's strengths here, right? Aquarian strengths that mirror the sea lion energy. Courageous self-expression, and that emotional intelligence, that air sign energy, that adaptability that we talked about, and the resilience puts you in a constant position at the threshold of transformation. And look at this 5, the number of transformation and change of cups, talking about that cup energy with the King of Cups and the emotions, tying that into intuition, learning to use this energy to light up the intuition in your subconscious space, and this Queen energy. The battle. I heard the battle's afoot, and we are here to change things. And you may be feeling that energy of needing to change something. And look what comes up with the Knight of Cups. Page of Swords, Five of Cups, Knight of Cups. Current time, row of reality, past, present, future. Page of Swords. This is some message of truth, right? This winged messenger of truth coming forward, this resonance you might feel with winged energies. I was going to say birds, but it's more than that. It could be all kinds of, all nature, winged beings of all kinds. And the Knight of Cups. The spiritual quest. The journey. We're picking it up and moving it forward, right? And Aqua, you know this. You're in the age of Aquarius. The wheel has turned. And this is the age of revelation. This is the age of truth. The illusions and all of that being put to the side. Truth is coming forward. Truth is coming forward. And in the channel here, we've got some newer messages, some things that have been coming through. I'm going to be honest with you, for a really long time. But Aquarius, resonant energy for you is the energy of the dark horse. Some things you may have known for a long time. Some deep, ancient wisdom. Some things you may know about that have been going on for quite a long time. You're skilled, educated, connected. A lot of you connected to this energy. We've got a lot of different things coming through. And I know you guys have heard about CERN being shut down right now. CERN has been active for 13 years. They shut it off every 13 years. For 4 years. 1 and 3 is 4. Don't kid yourself. They know that. And there's resonance here. And there's resonance with some other situations too. Some issue of 5D, creating 5D, editing. The fifth element of spirit and revealing the true nature of that entire construct. So we're going to get into some of that in the channel as we move forward across the readings. And today for you, Aquarius, let's get into your mind, because it looks like that King of Cups energy is ready to move into some Emperor, standing on it, being about it, and revealing some of these truths from a position of authority. Thinking about something though, and there's this breakthrough moment. There it comes. And as you're thinking about something, you were thinking about something practical, whether or not something was going to make sense. This is really some energy of some mature Aquarian energy. Grown up Aquarius, right? And this is what's been coming through for the collective, this rather mature Aquarius that has learned some skills. You found yourself in the energy of the jester, the fool, that threshold of transformation, right? The peer, the bridge between worlds. It's who you are. This is as lovely and wonderful as you are. And the future has you on this spiritual quest. The last card out, I know you can't see it because it's over here, but I'm going to move these over. I'm going to show them to you in order. The little, I don't know if I want to do this for Aquarius. I know how sometimes you guys are, Aqua, but this is the Lovers. Popping right up. This Moon, Ace of Swords, and the Lovers. So let's run it back. The Moon. This is that stuff we're talking about, going forward on that path. And listen, you don't know what the other side of this is going to be. You don't know what's on the other side. It could be anything, it could be nothing. But what's going on is all the signs are coming in. And the energy is telling you to move forward. It's telling you that you need to do these things. And that you've traversed, you've traveled, you've been through it. Through the muck, through the mud, through the nonsense. And all those things that you've been through. When you shine a light on that, when you think back on that stuff, when you reflect back on that 6 energy of the Amazon Queen over here, the devoted warrior, devoted to path, on that spiritual quest you have been, and you see the truth. You see right through the illusions. You see when people are trying to pull a fast one on you, you know. And you pick it up and you know what? You set them back in their place. And sometimes you've felt guilt for those kinds of things, but you've learned to adapt and move forward through a lot of these energies. This Ace of Swords, this breakthrough, the understanding of that Emperor energy that says, you know what? I'm not having a difficulty with setting those boundaries. I'm not afraid of being judged or rejected. I'm not going to have an outburst. Breakthrough moment, the truth, the Page of Swords, the work you've been through, the things that, look, the Emperor is the outcome. You're not going to overreact because you're sitting on your throne. You know you're right. You know that what you're saying is connected. So you're not going to be as sensitive to the criticism. So this connectivity here is the King and Queen coming together. The Amazon Queen, where those big emotional ties are coming in. These big emotional reactions. The understanding that your playful nature and who you are, that's the expression, that's the intelligence. And it's missing in the universe sometimes. Your energy, it needs to be everywhere right now. You, yourself, being yourself. If you're silly, be silly. If you are a comedian, be a comedian. And if you're in the energy of the jester, use that comedy as armor for the time being. It doesn't need to be a permanent coping mechanism. It should never be a coping mechanism. But if you can find a little light in the things that you've been through, the journey through the mud and the muck, and the things that you had to come to realization on your own with, these are the things that light you up internally, emotionally, connect you to the ability to see the truth. You can't unsee the truth, but you would never want the disconnect. So something came through about somebody, it had me on a quick pause there, was something about Vienna, Italy? I don't know. There was something about Vienna, and I didn't really get anything else, but somebody needed that little, I don't know, that confirmation, something about Vienna, and something about that RH negative, no, there's more. There's something about blood types. This actually does keep coming through, and it leads into some of the general messages that I'm going to put through Aqua. So I'm not going to pull that in here, but we talk about that 5D, the fifth element, spirit, and the 5D is the creators, the editors, right, of this, well, reality, the shared reality. Aqua knows some of these things. The Ten of Pentacles journey is coming up, the card of legacy. So some of these things you're moving forward on, some of these lessons that you're moving in on, you're very connected, and some of you might feel like you're the turtle. You might feel like you're slow and steady wins the race. Like, this has been taking such a long time. There were a lot of little coins here, look. The 10 of Pentacles. There's not an 11 of Pentacles. 10 is the last one, it's the most you can get. So it's kind of this energy of having gone through and collected all the goodies. You didn't miss a single thing, you got it all. It may have taken a little bit longer, but you got it all. And it's more of this combination between the mouse and the turtle. It may have taken you a bit to have to go back through some of the things you had to go through in your life, processing grief probably, and processing trauma most likely, as is the marker of most Aquarians. Now, you know, the universe says, but Aqua, you're strong. You're the strong, wise, eventual spiritual guide for others to navigate, to go through, because you know where everything is, all the little Easter eggs, all the secrets. You know where they are. You've collected them all. And now you can tell everybody else where they are and what they're about. And you've had time to investigate them as well. And it looks like some of that dark horse energy falls right into that 10 of Pentacles, where you may have been quiet for some time. I know I have been doing my own thing, and now I'm back. And so this dark horse energy sure does come forward, talking about, with wisdom though, you're coming forward with something to share in your own situation, in your own life, that you've had a breakthrough moment about. If not, it's coming. It's basically here. It's about to show itself. This breakthrough is about to come through. And it is going to balance this, whatever you're working through, it's going to balance out the masculine and feminine situation with a truth. Just cutting through illusions. If you're wondering, what it is. You can look for the situations in your life where you feel like things have been a little bit too this or too that, and ask yourself why. Because there is something coming through, communication coming through about that. And one more clarification I want to get us, on this bottom row here, the card of justice. And I just said it, didn't I? The communication is coming through. The justice card is lighting the inner sun. Pardon me, you guys. I apologize. I don't know what is going on with my voice. The justice card here that we're seeing it's honestly really specifically bringing up something in the sun about the reflection. This period of inner communication is coming through, and an inner dialogue, a change of your inner dialogue. You may have had this moment of understanding what you want to do, and this communication about how you're going to do it. How are you going to make this happen, though? What strings are you going to need to pull? What's going to make this sound right? What's going to make this music to your ears? What's going to make everything function properly? And what's going to make everybody... there's something about enjoying it. And I'm telling you, this is what's coming in. You look at this energy of the Justice card, and you can see sort of, it looks like from the sun, and these beams of light make it look like a harp. They also make it seem like, the strings of the harp. And I know we're balancing the scales, but you see they're quite balanced. And your journey has been leading up to this, like steps. It looks like steps here, leading up to this. If you pay attention to this idea of the steps here, it looks like beyond this understanding of justice and reaping, just rewards and things like that, it looks like there's some kind of stairs behind almost. And I know this isn't archway, this is a doorway. And this particular situation here is like, beyond this is a world you have no idea. It's very golden rays, and really you can see this is orange and gold and really summer sky, very peaceful and calm and warm. And when we talked about the sea lions and then this warmth and the sun keeps coming through, it's really something big to say that there is something of a warmth coming through. And we have some more things to go through as the channel moves forward and progresses. We have some other things to touch on. We're also going to get somewhat into... I'll save it. I'm not going to dig into it in the Aquarian reading. Lots of readings left to go. But if you're not a subscriber, hop on with us. We're going to get some things done. If you are a subscriber, it's great to be back, you guys. Hopefully we can get things going again, start things up. I have not been sitting around doing nothing. I have been learning. I have been working really hard, and I have been trying some things out. So I'm glad to be back. We'll see if we can make this work. And hopefully YouTube is a bit more cooperative. I'm going to do my best to be cooperative. I know sometimes I myself can be abrasive, maybe difficult, or confrontational or argumentative when I don't get my way. I don't know. I'm a lot of things sometimes. I work on myself as well. But you have a lot of other things going for yourself as well. And everyone that is working on something, it's time to share, you guys. We are really coming together in a big way. Aqua, I have some bigger messages for you coming forward. You have some bigger things in line. You are in line to do some things. So stay with me. Stay in contact with me. I'm glad to have you guys here. I love you all. I appreciate you so much. Everyone's welcome. All practices, all religions, men, women, everyone's welcome. Okay, everyone. Everyone. I don't know how to say everyone anymore than everyone. And I love you all. Alright, so don't forget to hit that like button. That's a way to energetically give back to the community for free, helping the algorithm push it around in case anybody else wants to hear this message this week. For you guys that are still here, please don't forget to enjoy the rest of your wonderful and beautiful day. And we will definitely talk later.